It's time for another project I got. This is something you all that follow me know that I was gonna do, you just didn't know when or whatever. So I got a couple of life hacks I want to share first before I get into this project, and two of them, both of them are pretty much the same thing. So if you go to a Tractor Supply, which our local Tractor Supply is probably 30-ish minutes from here, and we get cattle panels from them, which are these 50-inch or 51-inch by 16-foot long cattle panels. We get a fair many of them. I don't know how many I have total here on the property. We probably got 20 of these things or more laying around. I just went down yesterday and got 4 more yesterday morning. And then I got 7 hog panels because we're gonna make a hog pen, a pig pen, and we're gonna make them a little house. But anyways, one thing I want to say about Tractor Supplies is truthfully, they're all crooked. I don't mean that to be mean, but our local one is, like I said, 30 minutes away, and the next closest one's probably 45, 50 minutes away in Morgantown, West Virginia. And in Morgantown, there's a Royal King, so their prices are always less than what the one down here in Cumberland, Maryland. Always. These cattle panels in Morgantown are actually $10 a piece cheaper at Tractor Supply than they are down here at our local one. So, and they do price match. So what we do, actually not we, what Heather does before we go, is she always looks on their website in Morgantown and screenshots them, and when we get down there, then they give us back our money. I mean, they don't charge us for it. They do actually price match it, but why would they when they're both those two stores are probably an hour and 15 minutes apart? When you go to Tractor Supply, always find one, whether it's local or not, always find one that has a Royal King in its area and price match it to that place, because they'll always price match and they'll save you a ton of money in the long run. I have a 10-foot by 5-foot flatbed trailer that is extremely slick when there's mud and snow on the ground. So what I do is I just fold them like a horseshoe. And then I just strap them down. I'll strap it here to pull the top in, then I'll strap it to the bottom of the trailer down here and cross the corners. And that's how I haul them home. I've hauled a lot of them home that way. Works pretty good. So, now to get back to the project. I just wanted to share that with you in case anybody was curious about prices. And the prices, they keep going up and up and up. It's ridiculous how much them cattle panels cost nowadays. But what do? You know, you need them. You got to get them. And they price match everything. I mean, we went down and I got 7 hog panels and 4 cattle panels, and I don't know how many fence posts. I got a lot of T-posts, fair many. And we saved literally yesterday, we saved a couple $100 just by price matching. The T-posts are like $3 cheaper per T-post. For the 7-footers, the ones I'm doing for this are 5s. They wasn't that much difference in price. But the 7-foot T-posts that we're going to put around the garden, they were a lot cheaper in Morgantown. It's crazy. So just shop around like that, guys, because money's not easy to come. So what I have is T-posts. I squared it all up, and I had enough T-posts to make the corners. So I got all the corners made up, and then I got a bundle right there, and they come in bundles of 5. You can break them apart, but I always get to 5, so it's an even number. And I had these left over from another project I did probably last year. Probably, I don't even know what it was from. Probably making trellises or something in the garden. I just had a bunch left, and always keep extras on hand, so we have. So I got all the corners made, and actually what this is, the panels are 16 feet long, but from this post to this post here is actually 15 foot. And then I have these posts, which will be going from here to there, that way. They're 15 foot apart as well, and then we got like a 6-inch offset, or maybe not quite that far. So yeah, and then I got a string. I just put a string down, and I stuck a stick in the ground right there where that next post will go, and I'll drive one post in here, and there'll only be 3 posts per side. It's a little bit breezy today. Not terrible. But slightly. Still a little bit of snow on the ground from Friday night, but not too bad. Weather's starting to change. Still get a little chilly here and there, but all in all, it's turning out to be a pretty decent spring. Just like that. Easy peasy. Doesn't take much to drive a T-post. The bad thing about when you haul them in your trailer like I do, that it bows them this way. So then I always try to take the bow out when I'm putting them in. It doesn't always, you don't get it all the way out, but it don't need to be perfect. It's only a dang pig pen. And the fastener by choice is always zip ties. You can't see it, but there's a big gap underneath it here. I will put a 2x6 or something down along the bottom of that so they can't get under it. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that instead of trying to force it down. Not 100% sure when we're going to get some pigs, but I got a hold of an Amish friend of mine the other day, and he found me a couple already. I told him I wanted them into March, early April, and he said he found a couple, but he didn't know when they would be ready. But he found 2 different people that will have for then. So that's one nice thing. It's not the only nice thing, but that's definitely one nice thing about living around Amish. You can always find something. They will always have what you're looking for, or be able to get what you're looking for. And like I said, as you can plainly see, for sure, I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but when you haul them, they get bowed. They form the crookedness, and that's just what they are, but they're pretty stout posts, so they will be fine. So I need to get some more in, put the one on that side, that one over there, I'll put it in, and then I'll put this back section on one. Then I'll build their shelter, and then I'll do the walls and whatnot. All that'll be back in there up on that little bit of a hill. That way they can stay in out of the rain. They'll be able to stay in out of the rain and out of the elements. And then down here in this section, this 16-foot by 16-foot section, they'll be able to do what pigs do. We will be deep bedding this area so that they can poop, and I'll keep covering it up with wood chips, leaves, or whatever, sawdust, whatever I use. Deep litter method. And then whenever the pigs get out of here, then I'll probably, depending on how decomposed it is, how rooted up it is, I will either just straight compost it, or I'll put it over in the chicken composting area and let them pick through the pig crap and let them have at it that way. I'm not sure, depending on how it looks when we're done here. But right there, I used to burn a lot of brush there, so I'm sure there's definitely a lot of charcoal and stuff in there for them to dig through. And we will give them free choice on char, so that'll help them too with their digestive system. And we always give our critters apple cider vinegar in their water. So I have the back wall up. Got the 2 sides in. Right now I'm getting ready to put what I would consider the front, which will go here. I put a string across from that post to that post, and I put a marker here at 4 feet, and I put one here at 4 feet, and that 4 feet comes from this side wall to here, and the same with this. It comes from this side wall, not the corner of the post, the side wall to here is 4 feet. So I'll put a T-post here. I have a bunch of T-posts left, but I also was thinking when I was up there to get my other stuff to do their shelter, so to speak, which will go right through here. Be close to that tree. I probably should have had the whole thing moved that way a little bit, but it's going to work out all right. Anyways, I got one more thing that's nice about living around the Amish. I had a bunch of fiberglass pipe. And I cut these 3 feet long, give or take. I don't know, they're between 8 and 10 feet, all of them. And I cut them pretty much in half for the most part. Some I didn't. Some of them I cut pieces off already and just threw them off to the side for garbage. But these, I think, will work good. Because this is all I got in my cattle panel, greenhouse, my one trellis, and actually even the chicken shelter. This is all I drove in the ground for those. So, and I got these for like 8-foot lengths for like $2 a piece or something like that. So they're super cheap. Now I just had to cut them. So this piece here cost me like 50 cents to $1, literally. So I'll probably use those for the couple going back to sides, and then on the ends I'll use T-post, and up here on these ends I'll use T-post. So their shelter will be here with basically a big hoop house out of cattle panels. Another life hack for you guys: if you're short like I am, it's easier to put your T-post pounder on your T-post like that and stand it up vertical. These posts are taller. I think these are 6-foot posts. Some I had laying around. Close enough for what it's going to be. It's not perfect. I think it needs to come back around this way just a little bit further, but for what it is, it's going to be just fine. And so what I'm going to do is put these in the ground. The first one will be 4 feet. I'll probably I'll go just under 4 feet, actually. I'll go to 3'10". The bad thing about these is when you hit a rock, you can't drive them through it, or a root or whatever, like you can a T-post. Right there, I hit something pretty solid. So I don't know if I'll let that like that or not. I may change that. So then the next one, with the cattle panels being like 50 inches, I'll skip this one about a foot. So then the one cattle panel, they should split roughly in the middle of this, give or take. And this doesn't have to be perfect by no means. Yeah, see, that hit the same thing, so that's probably just a big rock under the ground right there. So what I really want to do next is go to that side and do the same thing, so I can put one panel in at a time. Blah, easy for me to say, right? I'll probably put the next one in here. So that's should be able to get 8 feet. I'll go to 8 feet, and that'll get me 2. Then on the third one, I won't put it in yet until I get that side. I want to get the first 2 panels put in. And there's something's in the ground there too. It wanted to drive it sideways. That'll be all right. So now I need to move my string over here and do the same thing. So these are pretty easy to put up by yourself. My lovely wife always wants to help, but I'm afraid if she gets in the way, I would end up scratching her or hurting her. I don't want to do that, so I just do it by myself. To me, it's easier. And this one's naturally wanting to go this way, so I'm going to get on the other side of it. These really aren't that heavy. And I'm really kind of short, so a tall person would be all right doing this. And just set that end down, just like so. And then easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I'll grab one more. Actually, it's going the same way. I don't want to knock my markers out, so and there is the easiest way to set a cattle panel as a trellis. Maybe not quite 20 million, but a lot. Before you fasten it down, you need to fasten them together. Because if you don't fasten them together first, you'll put a gap in there that you can't never get out. So now I'm going to put the other 4 posts in the ground and put the other panel up, and then I'll fasten everything down to the post already got in the ground. So the GoPro battery went dead, and I had to go in and change it, and I filled my water bottle back up because I drank it all of it. I was dried up. So anyways, I digress. Now I'm just going to start zip tying stuff back together. We got all the hoops in that we're putting in. Anything we got left is to here and there, and the gates, zip tie this to the panel posts, put a gate on, and fill it around the bottom. I mean, actually, it's coming along pretty well. Of course, this is a pretty simple build. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, when I build something, when I do a project here at the homestead, I probably spend as much money on zip ties as I do everything else. It's not true, but it's pretty close probably. one thing I get for Christmas every year. And I have a couple stupid questions I want to ask everybody. Y'all might think I'm crazier than what you already do, but I'm going to ask them anyways. Since you're just sitting there watching me put zip ties on cattle panels. Why do they call the morning, when you get out of bed in the morning, why do they call that morning, first off? I always thought a morning was what you did when someone passed away. So what are you mourning when you get out of bed? And what's good about a morning anyways? And why does it happen right after you wake? Because when you wake, that is a morning, right? So I don't understand that. I never did get that. Maybe somebody can figure that out for me and let me know. Or maybe I truly am crazy. I don't know. Where did that come from? I never looked it up where it come from, but I'm sure it was probably some Luciferian philosopher that decided what that would be. Because I would guess they're mourning the darkness. The idiots that come up with that stuff would be my recollection. But I could be wrong. This stuff that gets through my brain. So we got this end done. Let me fasten one more up across there, probably. Oh, no, that's probably enough. I'll go back through here and zip tie her down pretty good. Now I'm going to cut all them stupid zip ties. And when I cut the zip ties, I'm going to put hog panels in here. I figure I'll put this in here simply because the little baby pigs can't fit through them holes, but they can fit through these holes. So I want to make sure they can't get out. Yeah. I shouldn't need a whole lot of zip ties holding that on there, not. That kind of forces itself in. And if they're pushing against it, they'll help shove it in. So honestly, that should get us what we need. Note to self: don't stand on that on the slope. It'll slick. So see, Miss Vicky, that's why I use so many zip ties. That's why I appreciate them every Christmas. If anybody's wondering who that is, that's a super sweet lady that I like to call mother-in-law. I think that's going to wrap this video up. I got to put a gate on. I got to put the tarp on. I got a hole here and a hole there. And that's going to be it. I may not real sure, but I may, just for shits and giggles, put a hot wire around the top. Not for them, but to keep something out. And I may eventually put a hot wire around the bottom of this, somewhere in this area, where they hit it with their nose and train them to a wire. That way, if I want to take it off or open the gate and put up a net or something where they can go somewhere else, I can. But this should keep them in pretty good. I think this will contain a couple hogs. This area, I would think, is more than big enough to raise 2 hogs from 6 to 8 weeks to butcher age. This area here that we're standing in is 8 or 16 foot by 16 foot square, and what's going to be their shelter. This is 8 feet by just over 12 feet, like 12 and a half feet long, roughly. So, I mean, this is a lot of square footage for 2 pigs. Yeah, it's bigger than a lot of people give them. But that being said, I would like to, maybe not this year, but eventually I would like to put pigs in the woods beside of it, where we're videoing that right now. The woods right there, I would like to put pigs in that. We own over there a good little ways, and there ain't nothing there but rocks, as you can see. Rocks and weeds. But we got some brush piles there we need to get cleaned up. So maybe this summer we'll work on getting some of that brush piles cleaned up, and then maybe we'll put a permanent fence in there or something where we can put hogs in there from now on, or maybe even in the woods behind the house. Who knows? But anyways, this is going to be this. That'll be down the road. So till we meet again, take care and God bless.